It's definitely going to be over the next couple of days that you're going to have those red flags flying, and even some of those beaches have been closed recently because of the impacts. Now, Ernesto getting a little bit further away from us, helping us out. That's why you see here on this map, Kaylin, that down in South Carolina is in the yellow. So that means just a moderate risk for rip currents, but very high from Morehead City through the Outer Banks. And it doesn't always need a tropical system out in the Atlantic. It could be anything. It's actually going to be a front that kind of lingers down to the south that is going to keep our rip current risk at a high. And that's also one of the biggest causes of death, weather related, that we actually have here in the Carolinas. Rip currents, not flooding. It's actually rip currents that claims the most lives. So always keep that in mind. And also, it's a really strong current just bringing you north and south along the shoreline as well. So where you're sitting, all of a sudden you could be almost a quarter mile down without even realizing it. So here is what's happening right now with Hurricane Ernesto. As I said, we're back up to Hurricane Category 1 strength, 90 miles per hour already. It just needs about another 5 trying to get up to Category 2 strength. But its path is going to be unique. It's just going to pass southeast of St. John's, and then it'll still be a tropical storm as it's approaching Ireland. Yeah, I don't usually say Ireland for a tropical forecast, but what it's doing right now is not going to affect the United States, but this front dropping down to the south is going to affect us. And it's behind this that we still have enough moisture to trigger a few showers and thunderstorms. But we fully get the drier effects coming over the next day or so, but then all of our rain chances are going to linger down in the south. So if you are headed to the beach, say Charleston, over the coming days, you have a better chance for storms here more than anywhere else in the Carolinas. If you're going to be spending time in North Carolina, likely we're staying dry over the next several days. So here's our future cast. I think the most storms that we see here are going to be anytime between 2 and 6 o'clock. I already noticed by 6 o'clock we're seeing a lot less coverage here of the storms, a lingering storm up to 9 o'clock, and once that sun sets, well afterwards, we're pretty much done with the storms, not just for today, but for the time being. Our rain almanac shows that we've seen a boatload of rain. The last couple of months have been well above average. We're not done with August yet, but we're already 3 inches above the norm, 6 inches above where we should be for the year. So that drought status, don't worry about it. Check out what we've seen over the last month. At one point, 100% of the Carolinas was under a dry to a drought status. Now barely anything. Everything is down to just a little bit of dry weather off towards the west, but certainly not for the Charlotte area anymore after what we saw from Debbie. Today's high is 86 degrees. We're expecting 86, 87 across the Charlotte area, but our normal highs are actually decreasing. It's this time of year. We've already hit our peak in July. 88 degrees is the new average high. It officially dropped down from 89 officially today. And then once you get to August 27, so 8 days from now, it's down to 87. 86, and then down to 85 by September 6th. So where our high temperatures are going are actually pretty typical for what you expect by the end of August. Overnight tonight, 64 degrees. Is cooler where we have been over the last several nights, but where we go tomorrow night is something we haven't seen for a while. 60 degrees. If we drop down to the upper 50s, we haven't seen that since early June. The last time we actually had a 60-degree low in Charlotte was June 8th, so it's been over 70 days since we've had that phenomenon. And also you can see our high temperatures coming down into the lower 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I usually have a pick of the week. I'm going to bundle this into a nice package for you. I think Tuesday through Thursday, all similar days, are my picks of the week. So we got back-to-back-to-back days. But especially Tuesday and Wednesday, these are the drier feeling days. So likely we're going to have a nice comfortable set that we don't have that oppressive humidity. Nice little break over the next 7 days. But since we don't have that moisture, don't have that storm fuel, we're also not going to have those storm chances after today. It doesn't come up until the following week. The reason why? We've got the big blue H. That high pressure system is settling into the Carolinas. As long as this is here, that's going to protect us from the rain. But as I mentioned, it still will be prevalent down in Georgia and South Carolina. So our Guy Roofing 7-day forecast showing a great forecast. Lower 80s through the middle of the week, back to the mid to the upper 80s this weekend, and should challenge 90 degrees next Monday.